Why you decided to go to MI?
Well, being Canadian.
Okay.
We had a visa issue. You know, you can't just come to the States.
Tell me about that.
You can't just come to the States and work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you know why.
Sure.
Enrolling in MI and going to that school,
Mm-hmm.
it would enable me to get a certain type of visa.
You went to school because of you want to be in LA music scene.
Yeah.
That's the biggest reason.
Mm-hmm.
Not studying in MI.
Well,
both?
That too. It was both.
Okay.
And I had a friend of mine. His name was Ray Garraway.
Mm-hmm.
God bless him. He's unfortunately he passed away. But he was a mentor to me when I was studying Grant McEwen.
Mm-hmm.
He was a burning player. He was an amazing player, man. He was like light years. He was playing all the Vinny stuff and all the Weckl stuff right when it came out. He just hear like Got a Match. I remember he was playing it right away. And in those days, it was a big deal like the Dave Weckl was like that, playing all those stickings and that stuff. No one was really doing that stuff, you know, on that level. And so anyway, Ray was playing the crap out of all that. So he went to MI after Grant McEwen.
Okay.
A couple years before I went, and he just killed it down here. I mean,
oh, nice.
He killed it, but unfortunately his visa thing, he had a problem getting his visa, and he had to go back to Vancouver.
Sure.
So, and that was an issue for me as well.
Yeah.
But maybe that's leading into your next question.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of surprised, but thank you for being honest with me. So it's kind of touchy stuff. You went to Los Angeles for two reasons, for studying music, also being in LA music scene. How's your life when you were a student? Where were you located?
Well, when I moved down here, I just had my truck and a set of drums and a tennis racket and a guitar.
Wait, you slept in your car?
No, so I had a pseudo aunt that lived in Long Beach.
Okay.
And when I came down here, I lived with her.
Okay.
In this back of her house in this little.
Oh, you have a place to crash.
Yeah.
But it's in the Long Beach, right?
Yeah, it's Long Beach.
But it's commute to MI. It's kind of far.
Yeah. But my rent was $150.
Oh, it's
so I didn't have a lot of money. I mean,
sure.
I had 2 student loans, and I think I had $15,000 saved up.
$15,000
for a year.
I had a 22,000.
Wow.
Before
you were a little bit later than me.
Yeah,
so
2006.
It was more expensive to live here.
Yeah.
So I think I want to say the tuition for the year and everything was like about $7,000
a year. Do you know how much is now?
How much?
I was told 9,000 per quarter.
Holy crap.
Per quarter.
No, it was 7 something for the whole year. So it's maybe 74 or something.
How lucky we are.
And that was a lot of money though to me.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of money to me too.
So I couldn't have done it if I didn't have that. I couldn't afford living in Hollywood. Even like living with other people, it was still way too expensive for me.
Sure.
So luckily I had that. And I moved down here and I was living there and I was commuting back and forth. And I mean I would just stay at MI all day. I would get there about 10.
True.
And I would literally stay there until midnight every night, and then drive back and do it.
After traffic got clear.
I was in a bunch of different bands. I was practicing. I was doing the curriculum.
That's my question. So how did you get your first gig in Los Angeles?
Playing around, just playing out on gigs.
Just meet people?
Yep.
Okay.
And then just word of mouth, and then there were some auditions I got through the school.
Okay.
And that was good, and also there was some, being Canadian, I didn't have a social security number and a visa.
That's kind of touchy.
It was a tough thing because I did get some good auditions, some pretty high-level auditions, and I got the gig a couple of times, and the first thing they ask for is your social security. The management company wants your social security number, and I didn't have it.
And what happened after?
I'm like, sorry, I know, I'm Canadian, I don't have it. I have a student visa, and I'm working on all that stuff. I'm like, sorry, but,
So you got the...
Yeah.
Because of the social security?
That happened a lot.
A lot?
Yep, sure.
Fortunately, I have never heard... It's never happened to me.
I mean, so yeah, I would be working like, $20 gigs, and I mean, you name it, the kind of gigs I did.
Oh yeah.
blues gigs to like to casuals to
Sure.
like jazz to country to rock to.
So everything you did.
I was in a house band, in a rock house band, like every Sunday night. That was a, pretty long standing gig, and I think we made like, shit, I don't remember what even I made on that gig, but it was like not a lot of money, $50 or
$50 per night.
Yeah.
Wow, it's still.
I mean, those were the type of gigs I got. Were up $50 to $100 in those days. You drive to Pomona.
Pomona, 60 freeway all the way east.
And play like 3 or 4 sets, load in all your gear, play 3 or 4 sets, and then maybe make $60 at the end of the night and drive home.
It's not worth it.
But that's what it was in
This
those
is what
days.
it is, right?
And you had to do that. And
Sure.
but on those gigs, you would meet other musicians that would have other gigs and other things going on.
Sure.
And so I did that for a long time, while I was at MI, and then when I graduated from MI,
It's a 1-year program.
yeah,
wasn't it?
in those days, yeah, it was like 4
quarters.
trimesters. I think they had 4 quarters, and then I stayed after that, and I had an extension on my work visa that I got through the school that I could work there. So I started doing some open counseling teaching,
Oh, cool.
and I worked in the drum department for a while, like.
PIT.
Yeah, changing the drum heads and moving around kits.
Oh, like
and
assistant?
kind of.
Kinda.
And then I would teach there, like, I would do some open counselings and whatever little random things I did. And then I did that did that for quite a while, and it was starting to get to a point where, I was getting extensions on my visa, but it was getting tricky to figure it out.
Tell me about that. I knew it.
And there was one point in time where I went back to Canada in that time, and my visa, I had a visa that was going to expire within...
Going to, right?
It was going to expire within like 2 months or 3 months.
But it still exists.
It would still exist, but they said, no, you can't, your visa, you need to have 6 months on this visa. We're not going to let you in.
Anyway, it's way before 9/11 happened, right?
Yes. So I can't imagine how hard it is right now.
Yeah.
And then...
And what's going to happen after that?
I got detained. I wasn't able to come back. Meanwhile, my whole life was
your
here.
stuff is everything is here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a lot of stuff in those
But
days.
still, your
Yeah,
life was here.
My life was here. All the connections that I'd worked towards building up at that point, my network of people.
Sure.
I had to let it all go, and I spent 2 months in Canada.
And how did you get back to Los Angeles after?
Well, I was approved for another level of visa,
which is
O. Another extension. I think the
O1B?
O. I didn't have the O yet at that point. Then what happened was I came back to the States, and then I did a Guitar Center drum off.
Oh, okay.
Thing. And that was kind of like a turning point for me.
Like game changer. Right?
Yeah, game changer. So
you won it?
I think I think the tour was starting in like 3 or 4 days. We just rehearsed like 3 or 4 days and literally got on a tour bus and went on the road.
Wow. Is it nation tour?
Yeah, it was all over the States and Europe, and it was the first time in Japan.